When making this video, I set out to show you the Mini-14 and a couple variations, an older one versus a not so old one. And it turned into an AR-15 rant. Uh, if you want to just skip it, go ahead. If you want to see me rant, it might be of some interest. Good luck, enjoy. This is that old Ruger Mini-14. It's a Series 180, one of the early Mini-14s. This one was 1976. Because on it it says made in the 200th year of American liberty right there on the receiver. I did a short on this, in a YouTube short, and a lot of guys liked it, so I thought maybe we'd get a little closer look at it and show you why the 180 is different from every other series. So we'll take this back in the shop, and then we'll take it out to the range and shoot it. Let's go in the shop now. We'll take a closer look at it, and I'll show what makes this one kind of unique. All right. If you guys have watched my videos, you've seen me shoot, you've seen me with my sons shoot. My older son, John Henry, this is his rifle. This is his Mini-14. This isn't mine. This is his. And you guys probably know that he's in the Army. He's away at AIT right now, so I get to shoot his guns because he can't stop me. No, I'm just having fun. I'm just keeping the guns exercised and in shape while he's off getting some advanced individual training. But he will be back in, 6-7 weeks. We'll start shooting with him again. But in the meantime, let's talk about one of his guns. Okay, first off, neither of these Mini-14s are new, and neither is the current version or the current model of the Mini-14. This 180 series, it has all this external stuff. You go, what is all that? That's your bolt hold open feature. So we pull the operating handle back, push this down. You see this little rocker? That's gonna lock our bolt in place. So when we go to pull it back, that'll fall out of the way. We can close it. It was revised, a lot less moving parts to this little button. I can pull this back, press the button in, and that's going to hold that op handle back or hold the bolt open. So that's one of the big features. You see all these external moving parts on your Mini-14. That's kind of unique to that Series 180. Here's one of the downsides of the Mini-14. I know it's cool and it's cute and it's light and it's small and it just feels really good in your hand, but it does have this rock and lock magazine. You'll see at the front of the magazine there's this little hole. There's a pin inside here that you have to get that pin on that, through that hole and then rock it into place. If you miss that, you could wedge that pin against the front of the magazine and not really have it. It's locked in place, but it's not fully seated. This magazine's now sitting way too low, and I can't feed around in. So this rock and lock, I can't just slam it. Oh, it's not feeding. I got to take it completely out, hinge it, make sure it's in, get a positive lock. Now I see that mag's up. So there is a flaw here with the Mini-14, that you can have that magazine lock in place but not fully seat, and it's not something you can just tap and rack and move on. That magazine lock should be sitting too low in the receiver. It won't feed around into the chamber, but it'll lock. It'll click in place. So you think the magazine's locked and you think it's going to seat right, but you can seat it a little bit too low so it won't feed any rounds. So it does take a little extra. To get that in there. Whereas your AR, you can just smack that baby and make sure it's in. This takes a little bit, maybe an extra step. Still love it, don't get me wrong. You just got to take your time and you got to kind of finesse it a little bit. Still not as good as the AR though. Huh? There's an old joke about the town sheriff. He attends the local the PTA meeting. The sheriff shows up and he's got his sidearm on his hip and he's there at the meeting at the school. And one of the older ladies in town says, "Oh, Sheriff, I see you have your gun with you. Are you expecting trouble?" And he says, "No, ma'am. If I was expecting trouble, I would have brought my rifle." Okay, what rifle do you think he would bring? Probably not. He'd probably bring the AR. I did a video a while back, and I said, if I had to choose between, the AR-15, I had my Bushmaster, and I had that Mini-14. I said, if I had to choose between the two, I'd choose the Mini-14. That's only half true. I love the feel of the Mini-14, right? When you're out hunting, from the time I was a kid, hunting, with a .22 rifle, or hunting with a shotgun, you're going pheasant hunting or duck hunting, or just carrying your deer rifle in the woods. I always held it with two hands, and that gun's quick to come up, whether it's a shotgun or my .22, it's just quick to come up. I just love that feel. It's a very, very, very natural feel to me. And I just don't get that feel when I'm carrying an AR-15. You have to carry by the handle. And I just don't get that same, I want to carry it like this, that overhand and bring it up. Oh, that's not going to work with the AR. I love this. I love this weapon. This is the one I'm going to choose. And when if the shit hits the fan, this is the one you go with, obviously. But it's still not as comfortable for me after growing up. Like I said, carrying that rifle, carrying that .22, carrying that shotgun, carrying that in the woods for hours and hours and hours. I just want to bring it up, and it just doesn't. It's going to take me a long time, and I don't know if I'm going to live that long to get the same feel, to get that same comfort that I had with that Mini-14. I love the Mini-14. Don't get me wrong, and I love the AR. This is the one you got to go with, though. If you're out for fun, I like the Mini-14. If I'm going to go out and, like I said, if I'm going to take on zombie hordes, I'm taking the AR with me. A lot more options, a lot better design. It's a better gun. This particular gun, it's stamped right on the side. It says made in the 200th year of American liberty. So it's built in 1976, the year of the bicentennial. When these guns were being made back then, this was your cheap option if you couldn't afford the AR-15. All right, you had the same caliber. You'll see the receiver is stamped caliber 223, but the owner's manual does say you can shoot a 5.56 with this, even back in 1976. It has very similar magazine to the AR. They both hold 30 rounds. They both shoot the 5.56 or the 223 round. Right? Why isn't this on anybody's banned list? Because it doesn't look scary. It's not that black, ugly gun. But I'm going to tell you, I used to tell people, they say, hey, what's a good rifle? If you're a prepper, or if you're just, home defense, or you wanted to, just have a gun around the ranch or something like that. I said, hey, any gun you have is going to be good enough to defend you, or good enough to be used, or, a civil uprising. Your Winchester 94, your 30-30, that's plenty. I've changed my mind. If you do not have an AR-15, you're not doing everything you can to protect your house and your family and yourself. The AR-15 has gotten so cheap, it's gotten so inexpensive. Everybody makes a version. You can afford one now. It's cheaper than that Mini-14. It's cheaper than that, Grandpa's Model 94. You can trade that rifle off and probably get two ARs. Back when I bought this was half the price of an AR-15. This was the poor man's AR-15. Now it's the other way around. This Ruger Mini-14 is now, I think, like twice the price of an AR-15. I would be foolish to have this be my only gun. That would be silly. Why would I have a gun that's almost as good as an AR, but it costs twice as much? I would sell this if I didn't have an AR-15 now. I would sell this and get two ARs or one and a whole ton of ammunition. So guns like this are now fun to shoot. This isn't my go-to defense gun. If I'm a prepper, if I'm a survivalist, if I'm just, I just want to live out and just, kind of protect my cabin or my ranch or my home, this isn't my first choice. The AR-15 is now my first choice. Sell Grandpa's 94, sell Grandpa's old shotgun, get yourself an AR. These are cool, don't get me wrong. I love the feel. This just comes to your shoulder nice. Oh, God, that's so sweet. But if I have to, join the rebellion, or if I'm going to go down and stop a riot in the street, I'm grabbing the AR. The Mini-14 is fun and cool. It's a lot of fun. It's fun to shoot. If you like target shooting, you think shooting's fun, you like, impact targets, or you want to set off some tannerite, Mini-14 will do that. Like I said, if you want to take on that, that horde of zombies, get yourself an AR.